Okay, guys, welcome to week 8, day 50. And my apologies on Friday. I was like completely messed up because I said we were in week 8 because we were coming up to it. And then when I posted the replay of the video, I said it was Thursday. I don't know what I was thinking, but I'll try and get it right today.
Well, it's funny is none of us called you on it. We're just going along with the flow. So
Good enough. Good enough. So my first question for you guys today is going to be, have you guys seen the video for today yet?
yes.
And that's a negatory for you, Stan?
It is. I'm going to watch it afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, interesting video. And if anything crops up for you there after you watch it, let me know. After we do check-ins, I'm going to run through some of the stuff that I thought was really kind of cool from it. And here comes Dana. 1009, Dana Burke.
That's our office number. I mean, the senior names in a meeting last week.
Ah, I see.
So they
Hi,
can break
Dana.
us out into our office rooms for a work session.
Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Hey, Alan.
He can't hear you.
Oh, he can't hear me. And I'm sorry. As soon as I start.
So Sally, I'm getting the Glory Premium class 8x12. The Peligram.
Which model?
Glory Premium.
Ah, okay, cool.
25, little over $2,500.
Yeah. All righty. Well, let's start check-ins with Stan because he was the first one on today. So what's going on with you, Stan? How are things going?
Much better than Friday.
Yay.
It wasn't so much I was having a bad Wildfit day. There was a bunch of other stuff. And I'm starting to whittle away at those things, so that's good. One interesting thing happened, and I can't remember what day, but it was towards the end of last week.
Somebody's got a lot of feedback. Can you guys mute when you're not talking, please? Thank you. Sorry, Stan.
That's okay. But I used to be a really big consumer of antacids. I mean, several nights a week, and sometimes multiple tabs. And whatever night it was, I think Thursday or Friday night, I had to take one. And I remember being surprised because it had actually been a long time since I had taken an antacid. So the fact that I'm down from several a week to one in maybe, I don't know, a month is a big win, I think. And of course, I mean, obviously, if anything's related to diet, it's consumption of antacids. So clearly it's the change in diet that's made the difference. I lost 4 pounds last week, so that's good. Really kind of cranking along. I'm not surprisingly not having trouble so far sticking to the regimen of what we eat and what we don't. So I guess no news is good news.
Well, I don't know. I think the antacids are really good news. I mean, I think that really is a big win. I mean, I can remember when I was younger, we all used to call them after dinner mints because that's how common they were and what an indication of how poorly we were eating, right? Overall.
Yep.
So I think that's super,
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah, it is. The one disappointment still is sleep. I'm just either not falling asleep for a long time or else falling asleep, but then waking up in the middle of the night and not being able to get back to sleep. So we'll see. It's only been a couple of weeks with no alcohol and no caffeine. So we'll see how it plays out over the next few weeks.
Cool. And I really recommend doing some deep breathing, like right when you get in bed and you're ready to go to sleep. You think you're ready to go
Yep.
to sleep, to just kind of get that heart rate calmed down again, and tell your body it's time to relax, and that might help.
Yep.
And we know.
Well, no, I'm doing that. So yeah.
And it's pretty hard to get perfect sleep, no matter how hard we try. And as I understand it, as we age, sleep becomes more elusive. But the other thing I'll say around this is, I can't remember which video, if it was last week or the week before, Eric actually mentioned that, we weren't really necessarily designed to sleep 8 hours at a time. or 7 or 8
The-
hours.
I think that was Friday's video.
Yeah, so, I mean, there is that. I don't know how to re-regulate myself to not just get all of my sleep in one stretch. But, I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning and didn't go back to sleep. That was 2 hours earlier than I typically get up. Just one of those days, and I fully expect that I'll sleep very well this evening. At least I hope so. So sounds like you're doing great overall. Really glad to hear that.
So surprisingly better than I thought. Yeah, I guess the other thing to report is that I've started noticing that my waistbands are getting a little bit loose,
Nice.
which is good. Yeah.
And keep in mind that if you want to, work on accelerating weight loss, any kind of aerobic exercise, a brisk walk really will help with that. So might
Yep.
want to,
Yeah, I actually did that last night after you and I talked.
cool.
Well, yesterday at dusk, and also the breathing, of course. So
Nice. Nice. Excellent. Good job. Linda, you're next. You got to unmute yourself.
Okay, so let's see here. It was funny how Eric spoke this morning and said, now that you've been in spring for a while, you might have someone right here going, you're doing a good job. Don't you want a little something? It's exactly what happened to me. Exactly what happened to me. And I was thinking, oh, nope, stay on track. Remember the end result. So then I'm sitting in front of the tube last night, doing my little Netflix binge for an hour. And I want something salty. Maybe I want some more nuts. Oh, Linda, you ate more than a handful of nuts today. No more nuts. So I said, okay, I'll have a cup of tea. So I had a cup of tea. Still want those nuts. Okay, I'm going to bed. So I went to bed. So, you're not winning. I'm excited to learn more on Friday. I believe I'm in category 3 right now because of the IBS I was diagnosed with. And so I want to learn how to gently move into 2, but I want to stay in spring. I'm not ready to get out of spring yet. I want to stay here for another couple of months. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now.
So a couple of months is probably too long. And we'll talk more about that as we get toward the end of the 90-day challenge. Like
Okay.
what kind of time periods you want to be in spring and what kind of time periods you want to move into other phases. And then you'll be designing your own lifestyle around that once you understand how the stuff works. But I'll just say that a couple of months at a time in spring, in strict spring especially, is probably a little bit too much. It's hard on your body.
Right. Okay. So let me ask you this. So when we're moving into something else and I still want to lose weight, would that be possible?
Yep.
Okay. That's right.
Yep.
That's all. That's my comfort. I'm good now.
Yep.
Let's see. Food has been good. Egg salad with my butter lettuce. I'm still eating my spaghetti with the eggplant. I'm here by myself. All the guys have been gone for a week. It's been terrific. Done. Kitchen stays clean. I'm prepping the food when I need to. I have my little, for some nuts for snacking if I want a little snack. So I'm feeling good, Sally. I just have to say, I looked up the vegetables I was eating. They're packed with magnesium. And I am still getting on my left body, calf and the front of my calf, the front part of my leg. Terrible cramps that goes right into my foot, right into my ankle. Yep. And I'm going, well, how fucking far are you going to turn? And so it usually happens when I'm laying down resting.
Yep, me too. Okay. And the only thing I can do is jump up out of bed, get some weight on it, yep. and then go hit the TheraWorks that I forgot to put on before I went to bed.
I put that on before I go to bed. It's right there. I get up, I put that on. And the dogs think I'm getting up to feed them. Everybody's in an uproar. It's like, no, it's 3 a.m. I'm not fucking getting up.
So tell me,
Do you have any back problems,
Dana,
neck or back?
neck, well, you know my, bulging disc right in here. And my back has been feeling really super good. I went out and I bought what's called the DB method, which is assistant squat to help your back end and your back and your back of your legs. And, you know, I do like 25 at a time, and everything's burning. And then the next day my back will hurt, just muscular, you know, because I exercised it. So, but that's it.
Well, your neck can cause that in your legs too.
Right. I had an MRI to see if I had any pinched nerve or anything going on. That's when they just a very slight bulging disc. But my neurologist at San Francisco, he wants me to get a MRI on my back. But all right, I'm all for it. Let's see if there's anything else going on.
I think that's worth investigating. Tell me what you're eating for vegetables.
You name it, it's dark green. I go through that organic and I pick out every dark green vegetable, not lettuce, I'm not a big lettuce, except for butter lettuce, but all the collards, the parsley, the mustard, I pick out the kale, the spinach. There's one other, oh, what is it? I'll think of it, but every dark green vegetable I can get, and I put them in a shake. I mean, that thing is, that Vitamix, I have to push down hard to get up, to cram the lid on and then turn it on. So they're thick and creamy. And I mean, I power through that all day long. Just suck it down, suck it down, suck it down. Chew as you suck, chew as you suck, you know, like Thomas, to get the digestive going. So I got the cucumber in there. I put the turmeric. Yeah, I put turmeric in there. Sometimes I forget. I put the celery in there. So it is a lot of green. Well, you see how dark green they are.
Mm-hmm.
It's and
So
avocado, when I don't forget, I put the avocado in because that fills me up.
yeah, well, and it's a good healthy fat, which you need, because that's going to help you actually reduce, you know, and lose weight.
Yes, I understand that. And so when I miss the avocado, then I slice it up with my eggs. I get it in.
Good.
Yeah.
It does make the Alka-Geyser creamier though.
It does. It does. Yeah. A little easier to go down.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to, I'll ask on our coaches group if anybody's got any other thoughts for you based on the quantity of greens that you're eating.
Okay.
You know, what else we might do. Have you tried doing like magnesium salt baths?
I'm not a big fan of getting
Baths. Yeah. Yeah, me either. And when I was going through this, I got asked the same question. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to take a bath.
No, I did. I pulled up some medical journals because that's just what I do.
Mhm.
And I was reading about truly magnesium supplements and their relationship with helping with leg cramps. And much of the studies shown in this article didn't really have a real strong medical support with the magnesium and leg cramps. They did said there was one, it's Quinine. I don't know how it's pronounced, but that chemical or that pill form or whatever it is actually helps 100 times better, or much better.
That's quinine.
Yes, but they also said it had reversed health problems that happened with people who took it, right? So it's good for the muscles, but it's not good for your liver. It was the liver. It's not good for the liver and some of your other major organs. So I'm looking at this Suffer. Keep going with the magnesium. The Thorax works pretty good. But other than that, I'm just like not going to take anything.
Well, the other thought that I have is the fact that you were craving salt probably means you still need more salt.
I do. My pink salt, I love that pink salt. So I had a hard time getting back on salt because I just wasn't used to it, because I really don't ever use a salt shaker.
Which is good, because that's crap.
Right, exactly. So now I got the pink salt going, and I'm doing it, okay, in stages, so I'm not like, ugh, just a little bit more.
So
Maybe I'll continue that.
do you have a food scale?
I do.
So get out a container and tear weight it. So, you've got no weight, and then measure out like 5 grams of pink salt and see what that really looks like.
Okay.
That's kind of like the minimum you should be heading for right now.
Oh, okay. I'll do that.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
And maybe you just, leave that little container out, and that's what you take your salt out of during the day until you've used it up. And that's the minimum. You can eat more than that.
Sally, are you sure about 5 grams? I thought Eric said 3 to 5 milligrams.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, would that be like a half a teaspoon or a teaspoon? Does anybody know?
I don't know offhand. I mean, I'll tell you, I typically will run through about 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt a day easily.
That's easy. I can do that too.
Yeah. I mean, I do that easily. And I love the flavor that it provides. So I have no issue with it, but I would say try upping your salt intake, and especially because you were craving something salty.
Okay. Okay. I will do that.
So cool. Good job. Dana. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Before I move on, do you have any weight releasing to report? Any other?
I did already on Friday. I only weigh myself
On Friday.
That's it. Yep.
Okay. Are you noticing looser clothes, any of that kind of stuff?
Me, because
You wear stretchy clothes.
I have been all summer because I hate jeans when it's hot and I sweat and I itch. The whole material thing bothers my skin. So yeah, I'm on stretchy clothes, but I did notice today, I put on a pair of workout pants I haven't worn in a long time because everything else was dirty. And I'm like, oh, there's a little bit of room in here. On the legs, it's kind of wrinkled up a little bit, in places. So yes, yes, I've noticed.
Cool. Excellent. Excellent. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Sally. Thanks for your support.
My pleasure. I love seeing what you guys are getting through. I think it's awesome. So very cool. Dana, how are you doing? You're muted. There we go.
I'm doing good. I'm wearing my tight pants today and they're not tight.
Woohoo! That's nice.
It is.
Water and breathing.
The ones I was wearing yesterday were falling off.
Even better.
So I usually am craving salt too, and I'll eat nuts, and that usually gets it most of the time. But we eat salt on our meat too.
Yeah. Well, I had a few times in Deep Spring myself, what you guys are going through right now, where I literally would just, put some salt in my hand and lick it.
Yeah, when I finished a bag of nuts, I licked all the salt that was left.
Yeah, there you go.
Apparently I needed it.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's one of the things that I want to come back to talk about from the video today too. So what else is going on for you? You having any issues with the foods?
No, I haven't really been mixing them up too much. I go to the grocery store every time I run out of something. So I add some more vegetables, but not a ton. We don't eat a whole lot of processed food, so I'm not having trouble with that. The only thing I'm still really missing is a cup of coffee. And I could probably stay on this forever if I could have coffee.
Well, you can choose to go back to coffee after the challenge if that's what you want to do. And
I will go back to coffee.
And keep in mind, I mean, this is about food freedom. It's not about being totally restricted for the rest of your life, right? So we're in a very restricted phase right now for you guys. And so what that means is that it makes it really difficult to be able to really feel comfortable with some of this stuff. But eventually that's going to change. So
What?
all we can hear is Alan's chair squeaking and talking to. But that's okay. So what else for you, Dana? What else have you
I'm-
noticed?
Well, I'm doing good. I mean, people are telling me I look like I've lost weight, so that's a good thing as I have.
Well, and it's nice that people are noticing, right?
Yep.
And do you have a number you want to share with us?
Oh, I'm doing really good.
Cool. Excellent. Did you see the video today yet?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm curious because both Dana and Linda have seen it, but Stan hasn't. So what was the thing that stuck out most for you from today's video, Dana?
And I'm at number 3, which I knew anyway.
But how about the fact that the goal was to move from a category 3 to a category 2 and then to a category 1?
Yeah.
And that's totally doable. You know, I mean, when I started this, I was a category 3, and I would at this point put myself in a category 1. I don't have any health issues ongoing. I don't really have any more weight that I need to lose. So pretty cool, I think.
Yep, it is cool.
So, and I'm really glad you guys have all decided to do this because I can see the changes in everybody. And this is one of the things that's most important, is to make sure that you really are marking your progress. Take notes, actually write it down, you know, do a little journaling around it, because on that occasion when the food devil decides to rear his ugly little head and you're thinking about, well, I've been good, maybe I'll just have that. If you look at what you've accomplished and that's really front and center for you, wanting to make that slip is a whole lot less likely under those circumstances. So I'd really say that. What about for you, Linda? What was your biggest aha from today's video?
How Eric is so in tune with the woman's body. I'm like, how do you know this? You're not even female.
Well, he is married.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, the first place I lose it is in my boobs, and the last place I lose it's in my hips.
Uh-huh.
Ways. So then, yeah. But anyways, I really was thrilled to hear about the categories. So it wasn't so harsh. You know, how am I going to get from here to there? You know, so I'm not anxious. I am excited to learn what I do, what I have to do to get into 2, what I have to do to get into what. So I'm waiting for Friday.
Cool. One of the things that stuck out for me was the fact that, you know, most of the people in the Western world are overfed and undernourished, which kind of goes along with that thing that I said on Friday. You know, we're being encouraged to eat 4,000 calories a day because that's what the food industry needs to sell us.
Yeah.
But we don't need anywhere near that much food, and what they're selling us is mostly crap.
And what they're selling us isn't healthy at all.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
You know, and I'm trying to like get the attention. I thought I'd start with my family, because see how it goes, but trying to get them to understand this whole concept of how we've been marketed to, how they twist and turn the truth, saying it's healthy when it's not. I remember when Campbell's got their shit called out on, when they said it was heart healthy, but there was way too much sodium, so they had to take the heart healthy label off.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember that. And then I'm thinking about all the labels I read, all the chemicals I don't even know what it is. And yet it's not even the food our bodies were designed to eat.
Right.
You know, and no wonder why we're all messed up. But how, I just need, because I can ramble about these things for a long time, but I would like a nice little paragraph typed with direct to the point where people can just grasp the idea, at least read the fucking label. Excuse me, at least read the label. Sorry, Sally. And to understand what's going into their body, and this is what it's doing to your body, versus sticking to the natural foods that are raised closest to the soil.
That was
I
actually
bet you
pretty
could
good.
write that paragraph, Linda.
Yeah.
I bet you could write that.
Well, I was wanting to keep it in thank you, both of you. I wanted to keep it with Sally's analogy because if you want to learn, so it's kind of like a marketing for you, and it's still trying to get a really good, clear message out there about Frosted Flakes.
Well,
Right.
and here's the thing that I would say, Linda, and I mean, actually, we've had this conversation about real estate related stuff previously, and I would say, write that paragraph yourself, and then send it to me, and we'll talk about it.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Good enough.
Because you know the deal. When you teach something, you learn it twice.
Yep. Yep.
Right.
That's our concept.
Yep. Absolutely. So yeah, I think that's a great idea. I also really liked Eric's take on superfoods.
Yes, that was so tricky because so many times the superfoods caught my attention. Oh, it's a superfood, the powder, or this, or that, or that's a superfood. And really, all real food is a superfood as long as it's designed for your body in a healthy manner. So I never really thought of it that way. And I also like that he talked about what really is a superfood for us may not be the superfood for the Asians in their culture, right? Mm-hmm. And so I thought that was interesting.
Yeah,
and we're not trying to eat that.
Yeah, and I used to use a bunch of things, like labeled superfoods like moringa powder and spirulina and all that kind of stuff.
And I noticed spirulina is not on our list.
Spirulina is definitely off our list.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not designed for our human consumption.
Yeah. Yep. So I thought that was interesting, but now I understand where it's coming from.
Yeah, but I like the analogy between like acai berries are not a superfood because they weren't part of most of our evolutionary history, and then he makes the argument that on the other hand, coconut might be a superfood for us because it's been around for so long. Now with acai berries, it doesn't mean we can't eat them. They're not going to hurt us, but they're not going to be a superfood in the way that they're being advertised.
And also they're packed with sugars. So natural sugars, but still a very sugary berry.
Yep, exactly. And all of this, all of the advertising with high in antioxidants. All the advertising for anything is really pretty much just hype, in my opinion. Yeah. So I think all of us in this group are not in the phase of really struggling. It sounds like everybody is doing a great job, not struggling with being able to get the switch flipped and not struggling in terms of, oh, I hate what I'm eating, which I've heard from, some of the other groups. So, and I think we also have an advantage in that most of us were, by most people's standards, already eating pretty healthy before we started this. But really getting the understanding of what really healthy means is kind of a big deal. So
I ordered the keto sticks. And I wouldn't know if I don't, I thought I had it. Well, if I don't turn up to be in ketosis, which I kind of think I may because my granddaughter told me I had really bad breath. That's one of the symptoms. But if I'm not in the level of ketosis I need to be, it's like, is it possible one of the greens have too many carbs in it? Or nope. Okay, all right. No. I won't worry about that until it's a problem.
Yeah, and if it turns out that you're not as deep into ketosis as you think you need to be, I mean, keep in mind, one of your goals is weight loss and you're losing weight. So if you want to accelerate that a little bit further, a little more aerobic exercise, add some more healthy fats. Those are the two biggies.
Yes.
But I don't think you've got anything to worry about. I'm just interested in seeing the results because I think that'll be interesting.
I also ordered a blood sugar test because I know what my numbers are. And it's interesting to see how it dropped or how it's changed. So,
and do you think that will be as accurate as what you get from the doctor's office?
I don't know, but if it gives me a relative idea, plus or minus an error, because they'll have an error on there. I'm good with that. Well, I don't. Every time I go, those quacks out there. I try to stay away from them as much as I can.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about all the blood work that you get done at the doctors, when you
Mhm.
just go to the regular doctor, is that all of the results and the ranges that they give you are based on an average person that goes to a doctor, not an average healthy person.
No, I understand that. I have a whole book. I had the Boston blood test done. It's like, yeah. And so I have all those numbers. And I'm probably due to have it done again. And maybe I'll do it after WellFit and see how it really comparison.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn between doing that and just going to the doctor and running a bunch of lab work.
You won't get the kind of lab work because
I know.
insurance will cover it. But that Boston blood test will give you actual book, and it's every single blood test possible to give you information about your blood, your heart, and it's a really very comprehensive test.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah, and even the hormones are true hormonal test results, not the average, right? It's going to give you precise numbers, and they test for hormones that your doctor will not test for because it's not covered by insurance unless there is a strong enough evidence of an illness that requires it. So look online what the illnesses are, and you can say you have it. Maybe they'll do it for you.
My doctor's actually really good about doing whatever I ask him to.
Okay, well, good luck.
Which is pretty awesome, actually. And I usually just go in with a list of, let's run all this stuff. And it cost me like $50.
Yeah, for sure, get your vitamin B's and D's checked because I actually had vitamin B toxicity. So it took me a couple of months to get it down. And I'm still working on getting it down to where it's supposed to be.
Cool. All righty. I'm feeling pretty complete. Do you guys have any final thoughts? Dana? Hang on, I want to hear from Dana first.
Nope, I don't have anything.
Well, that was easy. Go ahead, Linda.
Oh, I like to see some more recipes for another dinner.
Okay.
And you said you had Polish, was it Polish sausage?
Mm-hmm.
What that usually has a bunch of shit in it. What brand did you find that didn't have the shit in it?
It's Tejon Ranch, grass-fed at Costco.
Oh, how do you spell it?
Tejon.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you a recipe for what I did on the Instant Pot last night. It had low sodium chicken broth and a cup of wine and onions, garlic. I can't remember all the spices, but then we cook a shank in it. So I did it with lamb shanks the first time, and then Ellen saved all the shanks from the deer because it was so good. And it comes out great and tender every single time.
Can we have the wine cooked? Is that something we can have?
Not really.
Oh,
okay. Well, it makes the sauce taste good.
Yeah, I mean that'll be fine when we're out of spring.
Okay.
And I should have the video up with the green bean and cabbage casserole today.
Okay.
So,
and can you do the video for the Polish sausage? Did you grill it?
That's in the green bean and cabbage casserole.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool.
It's all part of the same thing.
Okay. Good.
Cool. And don't forget when you're on the video page that there's a recipe of the day for each video. Today's happened to be cauliflower soup. And I think you guys should also have access to the recipe database.
I haven't seen it.
Take a screenshot of what you get to see of your whole screen and send it to me so I can see what you guys actually get to see.
Okay.
Cool. All righty. Final thoughts for you, Stan?
Sorry, I was just off to see if I could find that recipe database. I can't really think of anything.
Okay. Well, that's kind of like no news is good news. You all are doing great. I mean, everybody is really doing great. I'm really pleased for all of you. Just keep noticing all of those wins that you're coming up with. And seriously, do make notes about it. Keep a little journal going so that you do keep track of all your progress. And I would say probably around Friday this week would be a good time to retake measurements. And just so you've got a comparison before you're too far down the road, and then you'll do it again like when we get to the end. It's always just kind of nice to know. And I think everybody's going to see some changes because everybody's been talking about clothes being looser, and it's not like the clothes got bigger. So cool.
I don't know. That first couple of weeks, I know I gained weight.
Well, that happens a lot because
Yeah.
we're nutrient loading, no
Yeah.
doubt about it. But you're definitely going in the other direction now, so that's all good news. Cool. All righty. I want to thank you guys again, and we will see you back here on Friday. Put questions and comments and whatever up in the Facebook group, and we'll check you out there. See you on Friday. Bye-bye.
Okay, thanks. Bye, guys.